Some things just go together. Peanut butter and jelly, salt and pepper, Batman and Robin, rock and roll, Dark Souls and dying, the MCU and bad CGI, and Halo and Xbox. The birth of Xbox was also the birth of Halo. November 15th, 2001, a first-person shooter that would define shooters on console for its time. Halo Combat Evolved. Halo 2 that followed 3 years later, that would go on to redefine console multiplayer, taking, at the time, Xbox Live to a whole new level. Bungie's original Halo trilogy is viewed as one of the best in video games, alongside the incredible Halo Reach and the underrated Halo 3 ODST. Flash forward 20 years from its beginning, leading us to the release of 343's Halo Infinite. A 343 that had just not got things right yet, not yet captured its own Halo identity. A Master Chief Collection that launched riddled with bugs, performance issues and technical issues. Halo 4, a terrific campaign with an average multiplayer. Halo 5 flipped the switch with a terrible and falsely marketed single-player campaign to a competent multiplayer offering. Yet, Halo Infinite felt like the one, billed as a return to its roots, an engine overhaul for its slipspace technology, a more classic art style, an open Halo world to explore, and a more focused Chief and Cortana story. It had all the billings of being a great Halo game. Here's the thing, it is the one. 343 finally found a winning formula that blended classic Halo with modern video game mechanics, but it failed in modern video game design. I actually think Halo Infinite is one of the best playing first-person shooters out there, I really do. And with Season 4 right around the corner, finally giving us Infection, a career rank system, and more quality of life features, can the game recapture the player base it needs to? And is it worth coming back if you've lapsed? Let's talk about it. Now, I'm going to talk about Halo Infinite as it being a multiplayer shooter, because unfortunately, that's what it is now. I had a really good time in the campaign. The open world was flawed but fun. I thought it told a really good Chief and Cortana story with fun and memorable set pieces. But, with the downsizing of staff at 343 and the loss of key figures in the campaign team, that part of Halo is essentially gone until the next full-fledged game. I want a DLC tackling the Endless, I really do, and it was tailor-made by just adding a new section into its open world. But it's not coming, and therefore there's not much point in talking about it. So, the multiplayer then. The build up to Halo Infinite was special. I participated in a few of the tech tests leading up to launch. At that point, it felt ready to ship. It felt so smooth, ran so well, and was just such a fun experience. I remember sitting on the title screen on the first tech test, and the music, just sitting there and listening, the music, it hit. It felt lined up for greatness. Everything was looking up after its 1 year delay. Marketing was doing wonders. I copped the Xbox Elite controller with the Master Chief. My excitement was so high. And then bam. They shadow dropped the multiplayer on the 20th anniversary of Halo and Xbox. I, since then, have not seen a multiplayer have that same experience of everyone playing it for a while. The Discord that I mainly participate in was going nuts. We very rarely jump on a game together, but that night we had a full big team battle squad. I was up till 2-3 AM, everyone was jumping in the voice chat, everyone was excited, it was so good. Gameplay was buttery smooth, it ran really well on PC and Xbox, the server issues were minimal, there was just so much fun and excitement in that initial launch day. But the days after and the weeks after is when the cracks started to appear. We found out that the first season was going to be 6 months long. The Battle Pass challenge system was awful. Just absolutely awful. It had extremely situational challenges, there was no career rank system, and then we started to get a few technical issues like desync. Add on to this that couch co-op would then be cancelled, there was no online co-op until Season 3, and the Halo train quickly lost steam. So, we're 18 months on from the launch of Halo Infinite. What's changed? Should you come back? Is Halo Infinite still alive? At the time of writing this, Halo Season 4 launches next week. The long-awaited introduction to Infection and a career rank progression system. Things that had to have been there at launch. Staples of the Halo franchise. But better late than never, as they say. Well, the gunplay and gameplay is still exceptional. The grapple hook mechanic, it never gets old. I'm still creating memorable moments to this day. Forge has been here for a while now, and the community's been cooking. We've got a new weapon in the Bandit, new equipment, new maps, a free battle pass, and some paid ones that don't expire and you can retroactively buy, which I would argue is industry leading as a battle pass goes, though I'm not quite sure that's what you want to be known for in terms of the industry. I really do think the gameplay of this game is outstanding. The playlists are finally in a good spot. More serious rank play if you want it, skill-based tactical play like Tactical Slayer, smaller offerings like 2v2 on some community-created Forge maps, fun and frenzied playlists like Grapple Hooks and Energy Swords, leaning into stylish but silly. Lots of variety to tackle as well, with Infection returning and constant fresh updates and a new feature playlist each week. It feels in a terrific spot, and I can't wait to get my hands on Infection. 343's spin on it looks really good. The question on everyone's mind is it too late for Halo Infinite? The answer is no, but I still think the progression and fundamentals of this game are still flawed to this day, and even I wonder, is it still worth investing in, or should they just simply move on? See, my Halo was Halo Reach. Every evening after school had finished, I'd jump on with friends, we'd go on Forge, make some bases, have some big battles, or we'd jump into multiplayer and just have some fun. Maybe even try our hand at the Lasso campaign. Halo Reach was 2010. Video games are more popular than ever. Every single game is fighting for your time. The model of Halo Infinite just doesn't really exist in modern landscape. How many games launch with a campaign and multiplayer that are on equal terms of each other in terms of standards? Not many. I mean, take The Last of Us for example. The first one launched with factions, the second had The Last of Us 2's campaign, and now they're making an entirely new multiplayer game just for the scope of it, that may or may not even ship. This is probably why Halo went free to play with its multiplayer, to get as many people on as they can. Problem is, live service games are funded through their microtransactions, which leads me nicely into one of my core problems of Halo Infinite. Spartan customization. One of the greatest parts of any Halo multiplayer is Spartan customization, adopting your own unique Spartan look that reflects you. 343 even promised that with Halo Infinite's multiplayer it would actually include some form of storytelling for our Spartan, which in fairness started awfully, but has become pretty interesting recently. The problem is, Spartan cores something brand new to Halo Infinite, that it's the idea that each core had its own cosmetic tree. So you'd have your classic Mark 7 and Mark 5 Spartans that each have their own unique armor pieces, but you'd also have legendary cores and fracture cores like the Yori, which is the samurai themed, or Rakasha, which came as part of the Lone Wolf season. I'm going to be honest, I thought this sounded really cool at first, but this sucks. 343 have said that cross-core is coming and they're working on it, but all we have so far is visors and some colorways. I mean, look at this clip. All my Spartan cores and they all look pretty sick, but imagine if it were just different saved presets. Instead, you just have one chest piece that can only be applied to the Yori. I mean, look at the Yori for example. Look at how bare bones its customization is. If you lined up a whole big team battle match lobby of Yori Spartans, they'd all look so similar. What's worse is that how this ties into microtransactions. Because for these fracture cores, 99% of the time, the best looking items and cosmetics are, yep, you guessed it, in the store to buy for real money. I mean, you even pay for colorways across all the cores, and the pricing is just ridiculous. I don't actually mind paying for cosmetics in-game. I've spent a shit ton of money on Destiny 2 and Avengers when that was alive, but I buy them when the value feels fair for what I'm paying for. In Destiny, 99% of shaders are earnable in-game with no money spent. The microtransactions in this game, they still feel egregious. Like I say, live service games need to make money, but why would I spend 15 quid on an armor set that's only applicable to one armor core? And around 10 quid on colour pieces across all cores? Like, that's just insane, it's ridiculous. Live services live and die on two things: their ability to generate revenue and their player count. They often go hand in hand. It's a fundamental problem, and maybe, and I hope, that one day this video will become outdated and we get complete crosscore. But I imagine behind the scenes that this is an incredibly tough task to accomplish, and it's just a shame because it really hurts the game. Spartan customization is one of the main pillars of any Halo game, and 18 months on, I don't think it's much better, even with all 3 battle passes completed. Speaking of battle passes, one thing I actually really love about the game is just how much it respects and values your time. Weekly challenges for the battle pass can be boxed off in, I'd say, around 2 hours maximum each week, meaning you can easily beat each battle pass without dedicating your entire time to playing Halo Infinite. But to others, this is the problem. Everyone wants content with a capital C. No matter the game, a new season comes out, gamers devour the content, what's next? What else have you got? Once you beat the battle pass, right now, what else is there to do? Unlike the days of Reach, or going right back to the beginning of Halo 2, it's rare that people stick to playing one game because it's simple fun. Now, gaming, you want to be chasing things in-game. Levels, loot, gear, challenges. There is hundreds of games fighting for your time all the time. Every time you're choosing to play one game, it means you're not playing something else. Like I mentioned, in Halo, you can wrap weekly challenges up in a few hours. But for those that want more, what else is there outside of a few limited time events each season? We have the rank system coming, so let's see how that does. I hope there's enough substantial stuff there to keep those kind of players invested. On top of this, I mentioned before just how excellent Forge is, and it has a custom games browser now, so you can go and matchmake with other people, which is brilliant, but there's still no real incentive to do so. Some of the stuff in the community is made as is incredible. I just hope that 343 can find a way to further incentivize people to check out these creations that aren't the approved ones in the official playlist, though that is a good start. I understand that it's definitely tricky to get a Mario Kart track in an officially licensed playlist, but even if it didn't affect the season pass, some form of reward for playing would be great. It has felt like Halo Infinite has begun to gather momentum. Seasonality, aka a season every 3 months, looks like it's finally being achieved. Forge tools are getting better by the moment, with the possibility even of added campaign AI, which would be massive in terms of community created firefight maps and playlists. If we're not going to get campaign content, these tools in the hands of the community is the next best thing, so hopefully that will work out. So, the gameplay is as good as ever, the content is more consistent than ever, the battle pass progression is more respectable than ever, the playlists are more varied than ever. It feels like I should be taking Halo's future to the bank, and yet I'm still not quite sure the legs Halo has. One indication, and it's a small one, but Halo Infinite very rarely hits Steam's top 100 played games. You could argue that, well, most people play on Xbox or through the Xbox app, yet Forza Horizon 5 is a constant mainstay in those charts. On top of that, we've just had Xbox's Summer Showcase and Showcase Extended, and Halo's Season 4 launches next week. This would have been the perfect opportunity to be like, hey, Halo Infinite is in its best spot yet. We've got Infection coming back, we've got the career rank system coming, it's time for you to come back. And yet, it was completely absent from both showcases. Even Fallout 76, a game that proved you can have a disastrous launch and come back, had a spot at Xbox's big event. So, yeah, while I'm feeling the best I've felt about Infinite since launch, this feels extremely weird. On the one hand, I'm glad Xbox is able to have a brilliant showcase without the need to have Halo or Gears at the front. But at the same time, I want to see Halo thrive again. I want to see player numbers thriving. This opportunity felt like a slam dunk. Bring back a player base that, by most accounts, is not in a great place. And it wasn't an opportunity that was taken. I don't think Infinite is ever going to hit its 10-year plan as a Halo platform. And I do think it's time that more studios are given the opportunity to develop games in the Halo franchise. But I still think 343 should be given the opportunity to carry on developing Infinite and Halo games beyond that. The fundamentals, they are there, believe me. With recent reports of an engine switch to Unreal Engine for future Halo games, it's going to be a while before we get a brand new Halo gaming experience. I think the winning scenario here is for Microsoft to let 343 continue to work on this game, drop season after season until the next Halo game is ready to keep fans happy. It pains me to say, but Halo isn't the leading franchise it once was, and that sucks. But I believe it can be again, and Infinite can be a step on the right path if they stick with it. The truth is, this was ready as a Halo game and package of 2010, and not 2021. Gaming has changed, and Halo is struggling to keep up and stay relevant. Still think there's one hell of a multiplayer experience here, and I, for one, hope that 343 gets to finish this fight. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting that like button. It helps me out massively, and I'd really appreciate it. Truth is, if you enjoy talking all things video games here, you're in the right place, so go ahead and subscribe. I've got you covered. Have a terrific day, and I'll catch you in the next one.